building closed, I started a yoga program at the rec center. And when I was teaching at the rec, I realized that people needed tools to get stronger and people needed props to use. And so this is where I got inspired to develop my own yoga blocks. And these are called the Emerson Yoga Blocks. And these are an ergonomic yoga block that I developed from working with thousands and thousands of people and teaching many students. And what is different about these blocks is, first of all, I wanted a soft block, because when you're sitting on blocks and you've got blocks going into your upper back, I prefer teaching with a soft block. Also, this is a very specific size that I developed, as opposed to a smaller size. This is a little bit more rectangular, and this really fits into the upper back and chest, okay? So I want to take you through just a couple exercises that you can do with these blocks. So I would recommend, and I am selling these, I recommend at least having 2, maybe 3. So whenever you start a yoga practice, you're going to be in seated, or often in seated. And so sitting on a nice Emerson block, which also I call medicine blocks, is so much more comfortable for your hips, because now you have this nice elevation. So the lower back actually is getting a nice soft pressure from the block, and it's helping your spine really be erect. So if you sit at a desk a lot, this is going to help you. This is going to help lift those sits bones to allow the spine to come into a nice, natural, upright position. And it's also going to help you be able to lift the diaphragm for the breathing, as well as make your hips more comfortable. So there's a lot of benefits just from actually sitting on an Emerson block. And you could also use 2. So if your hips are really tight, you can use 2 blocks. And you can stack 2 on top of each other. And then you have even more lift, okay? And so you can see how nicely my spine is up and how nicely my knees are relaxed down, okay? And so for me, from teaching for 26 years, I have to take really good care of my joints and my back. I've practiced very deep back bends in my practice, as well as very deep hip openers. And I still work on advanced poses, but my main objective with yoga, and I encourage everybody to get into this mindset, is yoga should always be therapeutic. And that's why I developed the Emerson Yoga system, is to highlight the therapeutic benefits of modifying traditional Ashtanga, using props, practicing cross-training inspired from Pilates, and also inspired by Larry Schultz's rocket sequences. So this is just the basic way to use the Emerson block. Now, another way, one of my favorite poses is Supta Virasana. And so sometimes when I wake up, or just Virasana, I like to sit with my feet tucked by my sides for a short meditation. And what's nice about this wider block is it's gonna be a little bit easier to cover the distance of your behind, okay? So, with the block long ways, it's a little more ergonomic, meaning a little bit more natural. And Emerson Yoga is all about connecting to nature, inspired by Ralph Waldo Emerson, who was one of the early philosophers in the United States, and who wrote a lot of things that are very much related to yoga. And so this is a great meditation pose, and wonderful to have this space from your sacrum to raised from the base of the floor, because now you're going to have a lot more freedom in your lower back. So this can relieve back pain. And we're just going to take 5 breaths here. Bring your first finger and thumb together, turn your palms up and inhale. And bring in wholesome energy, and exhale negativity. Inhale, bring in light. Exhale, engage your core. Inhale, roll your shoulders back. Exhale, feel that Ujjayi breath, so the breath moving in the back of your throat. So immediately feeling that nice calming sensation from the nervous system. Okay, so there's many uses for the Emerson block. Another great thing to practice, and this is really what inspired me for creating these blocks. One of the original things that I was practicing was chest openers. And so this nice soft block you can place underneath your shoulder blades. And as you place them down, you can inhale and extend the arms out, bend the knees up. And this is just a wonderful, very simple restorative. You want to make sure that the block is high enough so that your head isn't arching back too much. And I recommend at least having 2 or 3, because you might want more support for your head. So you're still getting the chest opener here. And then if you want, you can place this block right to the back of your head, and opening the arms and the knees bending, and we'll breathe here. Wow, and this is just so liberating from stress, fatigue. Practicing this will give you more energy, okay? It also helps open the throat chakra. And then after you hold this for a few minutes, you're going to come out and you're just going to lay flat. And then you can really feel this beautiful energy shift in the body. Wow. Good. So yoga can be very simple, and it can be fun. You want to make your yoga practice fun. So another way that I love to use the blocks, the Emerson blocks, is in triangles. So the right foot's going to go out, the left foot back, and then using the Emerson block. This is a lot of height here, and that might look kind of like an extreme amount, but it really can change the whole energetic flow of the pose. And you could always take it a little bit lower. And what we want to avoid, which happens in a lot of Ashtanga practices, is the collapsing down if you're reaching the foot. You need to have the strength to pull your body up. So the block is going to help you create that strength and stability. Okay? So pretty soon I'll take you through a whole practice of how to use the Emerson block. But for now, I just wanted to give you a nice introduction to these amazing ergonomic block, okay? And there's just so many things you can do. I actually want to show you one more thing. So, forward folds. Forward folds can be really challenging for a lot of people to be able to reach to the floor. And even though I can practice a forward fold and reach to the floor, if I use the Emerson block, I can lift and I can actually put weight into the block, okay? So I'm gonna inhale and I'm gonna exhale, fold my head, and you'll notice my spine is kind of arching a little bit. This is very, very healing for your back, okay? And eventually, this will help you train your core for float-ups and handstands. And you could also use this more forward like this, a little lower. But now notice when I can lift up my heels up, I can engage my core more deeply, okay? Just breathing into this stretch. And now my hamstrings can really open up. And I can begin to create more space in the body. And that's what you want your yoga practice to do, is to create a lot of space